heart of a scorched landscape lies a liquid mirror so toxic it can burn flesh. But for these masters of the impossible, it's home. To escape this caustic trap, they don't just fly, they must run across the surface of a chemical fire. Survival has a price. To keep this gray chick alive, the parents produce crop milk, a liquid so rich in pigments that it literally drains the life from their feathers. As the baby grows stronger and pinker, the parents turn into white ghosts so the next generation can shine. The arrival at the mirror's edge, in the heart of a scorched, caustic landscape, lies a world. Here, soda lakes burn with salt and alkalinity. Prehistoric environment. The horizon begins to blush. A flamboyance is gathering, painting the barren white salt pans with vibrant shades of rose and coral. These birds are masters of the impossible. Their journey to these remote waters begins under the cover of darkness, far from the eyes of predators. Despite their thin, delicate appearance, flamingos are long-distance flyers capable of crossing hundreds of miles in a single moonlit night. As the sun begins to rise, the silence of the basin is broken by a rhythmic splashing. Because of their size and the resistance of the water, they cannot simply leap into the air. Instead, they must run across the water's surface. Their webbed feet paddle furiously, striking the liquid mirror with enough momentum to lift their heavy frames into the sky or provide a safeguard for their landing in shallow water. Now settled, the colony begins to vibrate with energy. The birds stand tall on legs that hold a secret. What appears to be a backward-bending knee is actually a high-situated ankle, a specialized design for navigating the sticky mud of the lake floor. They have arrived not just to feed, but to begin a ritual as old as the lakes themselves. The stage is set for the Great Dance, the dancefloor of the salt pans. As the sun climbs higher, the shimmering heat of the salt pans creates a haze that blurs the line between sky and water. Within this golden light, the silence is broken by a rhythmic pulse. It is not the wind, but the collective heartbeat of the colony, the beginning of the grand dance. Like a pink tide rising, the flamingos gather for a spectacle of instinct and elegance. They are high-endurance dancers, and the choreography is written in their DNA. The performance opens with head flagging. Hundreds of slender necks stretch toward the sun, heads snapping from side to side in a sharp, jerky rhythm. From a distance, it looks like a sea of pink stalks swinging in a synchronized storm. This is followed by the wing salute. Birds stand tall, suddenly opening their wings to display brilliant pink and black feathers. It is a startling, beautiful contrast, a brief signal sent out to the horizon. As the music of their honking call swells, the group begins to march. They move in tight formation, hundreds of birds stepping in perfect unison and turning as one body. This is a parade of grace, where every bird is both a performer and an observer, searching through the crowd for a single partner whose rhythm mirrors their own. Slowly, the grand crowd thins as the chaos of the dance settles into clarity. Their movements, once part of the massive group, now become a private mirror. They bow and stretch in a silent path, eventually walking away from the noise together. The collective dance ends as quietly as it began, leaving behind only the ripples in the water and the promise of a shared future. The fortress, in the heart of the salt flats where the water is too corrosive for most to survive, the flamingo parents begin their most important work. This is the transition from the grace of the dance to the grit of survival. The story of how a single chalky egg becomes a member of the Great Flamboyance. The pair begins by building a fortress using only their hooked bills. They draw mud toward their feet, piling it into a cone-shaped mound. These mud volcanoes rise up to several inches high, a life-saving design that keeps the nest above the baking heat of the ground and safe from sudden floods. At the very summit, they carve a shallow cup, a secure cradle for the future. Once the mud dries, a single oblong egg is laid. For the next month, the parents are a tag team of devotion. They take turns sitting atop the mound, carefully folding their long legs beneath them. While one protects the egg, the other preens or stretches, occasionally using their bill to gently turn the egg so it warms evenly on all sides. When the chick finally breaks through, it is a tiny ball of gray downy fluff, bearing little resemblance to its vibrant parents. For the first few days, it stays tucked under a parent's wing, peeking out at a world of salt and sun. It is during this time that the parents perform their greatest sacrifice. They produce crop milk, a nutrient-rich, red liquid that they drip into the chick's beak. This milk is so packed with the parents' own carotenoid pigments that as the chick grows stronger, the parents actually turn pale, fading from vibrant pink to a ghost-like white as they give their color away. By 2 weeks old, the chick joins a creche, a massive nursery school, guarded by a few adult babysitters. Even in a sea of thousands of gray fluff balls, a parent can find their own baby by the unique sound of its call. They continue this dedicated care until the chick's bill begins to curve, allowing it to filter feed on its own. The cycle renewed. Slowly, the gray feathers of the youth begin to drink in the pigments of the lake. The borrowed pink returns, deeper and brighter with every season. The cycle of the salt pans is complete. From the synchronized rhythm of the ballroom dance to the solitary vigil atop the mud volcano, and finally to the next generation taking flight. As the sun sets, the flamboyance rises once more, a living ribbon of rose against the darkening sky, ready to carry the story across the horizon.